What would you say is one of the reasons why you got into e-commerce even in the first place?
Well, I was running an agency from 2013 all the way up until 2017. Then 2017, I just decided to make a strategic decision to really niche down into e-commerce.
Yep.
Because up to that point, I was working with professional service companies, info product sellers, e-commerce companies, you name it. And I noticed that consistently, there was something that I was providing to e-commerce business owners that no other agency was providing.
Okay.
And on top of that too, e-commerce businesses didn't really know the strategies that I knew that I was also implementing as an agency owner. And so I just saw the opportunity to really get in there and be an agency that really specializes in e-commerce scaling. And I've been doing it ever since.
Dude, I love that. So what are you focused on right now for yourself before we get into the mistakes that you made?
What am I focused on right now? Well, for one, being a good family man, but
which I love, by the way.
But two, honestly, I'm just trying to do a big, hairy, audacious goal and roll up e-commerce businesses and make 8 to 9+ figures once a year over the next few years. Do it once a year, and then semi-retire at 45.
I love that. That's a very big, hairy, audacious goal, which I think is absolutely awesome. What classic mistakes are people going to make in e-commerce?
Well, I mean, I think first and foremost is just, with marketing, you got to always test. You got to consistently test, and you can't give up when it comes to testing, because I see that with a lot of e-commerce business owners is, they'll throw some stuff out there and they'll give up. And, I get it that there's challenges and stress from paid advertising and, budgeting and cash flow is the hardest thing about e-com, because e-com, you've got a 15-20% profit margin on average. And the two biggest bottlenecks of every e-com company is ad spend and supply chain.
Yeah.
And I didn't know supply chain until the last year and a half since I've been owning e-commerce businesses. So I didn't have any clue about the back end of an operation when it comes to e-com. But yeah, I mean, marketing and advertising, number one, just being able to consistently test and not give up on that, for one, because if you can unlock what paid advertising can do for an e-commerce company, you have limitless scale, really, as we both know, because of just, ad channels out there and how much traffic you can buy, as long as you know how to run advertising, effectively, profitably, and also at scale.
I have a friend who's a DJ, and my DJ friend is planning on starting a merch website.
Yep.
They've never done this before. They've got no idea how to do it.
Yep.
They like the idea of selling T-shirts and maybe like plush toys.
Okay. Yeah.
How do they go about doing this? What do they do?
Well, start with influencer marketing. That's huge right now. Find 10 to 20 people that are influencers in the niche that you're targeting, that love the products also, and then are happy to shoot content, video, image content, and get as much of that content as possible, and then just use it to get it out there, and then have a special one-time offer for new customers, which you can obviously, when you're using pixels and you're setting up pixels and custom conversions, etc., you can really make sure that you're offering a new customer offer without sacrificing your current customers.
So are we thinking they're going to set up a Shopify store? Is that the thing you'd...
Oh yeah, 100%. No, Shopify, yeah.
Yeah.
So don't use anything else.
Okay, got it.
For sure.
So for e-com, they're going to set up a Shopify store, they're going to build it up, they're going to get contact, say, 10 influencers, film some content of the influencers using their product. Do you agree that that's a common problem that people make? They don't build a brand? And are you seeing that there's less of the dropshipping model nowadays versus the branded model?
Yeah, so there is definitely less dropshipping happening. I've noticed that. And I think it comes down to where the person's coming from. If he or she is in a place where they need to make money right away, then, they may not have the patience or the endurance, to really create a brand and take the slow play. Because as you know, it takes time to really build a real brand. But that's super important to have the most success you could possibly have in any type of business, whether it's e-commerce or any other type of business. But for a lot of people, when you're really getting your business going, you have to get cash coming in right away. And so you typically go to drop shipping. I think the key, though, is that if you do that model, do it in a short term and then immediately get stock. So this way you control the supply chain and you have the best possible customer experience as quickly as possible in the operation of the company. But then on top of that, too, to your point, don't lose how important brand building actually is. And once you get that initial validation of your business, you've got a market, you're selling, you're making some money, now put some time, put some energy into creating a good process to build the brand and keep it going long term, be patient. This way you build, like you said, a real brand, because to have the most success, you have to have brand marketing and also direct response marketing at the same time. You can't just have one.
Any hacks for like e-commerce? I know, like, obviously you're buying companies and
yeah, I mean,
grow.
The hack is the R5 formula.
Oh, nice. Okay, what's that? Fill them in.
So authority, reciprocity, monetization, the 5 profit amplifiers. It's basically what we're talking about. We're talking about brand marketing and direct response. And the ARM5 formula is all about making sure that you're doing both. This way you can maximize your growth and your scale in your e-com business. Because, and the background of this is that, so we were running, an agency up until late 2021. And we developed the ARM5 formula like a few years before that. And we started just implementing it in all of our e-com clients. And it came from the fact that we saw like a consistency with e-com businesses and how we were getting just phenomenal ROAS, return on ad spend results, by making sure that we are really doing all the processes, all the systems within the ARM5 formula. And so we started doing that, with all our brands and called it the ARM5 formula, and we just continue to see the same level of results. We're talking about like 6-to-1 returns, for example, on ad spend, or making 1,500% in one day off of $1,600 and making $145,000. I mean, ridiculous levels of like output. And that's just because of the fact that we knew that as long as we're running content marketing strategy on a consistent basis, which is branding, which is what you're talking about, which is putting out valuable content consistently to your audience. And then you're also at the same time putting out offers on a consistent basis and being frequent with that. You're going to see like those two systems really just play out and really produce some strong results. And there's a bunch of other key systems, but I don't want to go into all the weeds and the science behind it. But the bottom line is that as long as you're putting out valuable content, you're creating an authority in the market, you're going to get that value back in reciprocity. And then as long as you have really good offers that convert and you're maximizing your follow-up processes and making as many offers as possible on the back end while also balancing brand and direct response, then you're going to maximize your customer lifetime value, and you're going to see your ROAS from every dollar you spend on advertising be phenomenal. Even in today's market, even in today's paid advertising that gets more and more challenging every single day, it still works.